102.5 FM.
Welcome into a wonderful Friday as the U.S. men's soccer team looking fantastic against Australia. Hayes Carline here along with Ryan O'Halloran, JJ LaSelva at World Headquarters. We're excited to be here. We're at Mr. Chubbys in Ponte Vedra. Come see us. It is rocking right now. Everybody is having a wonderful time with this U.S. team looking so good so far as we get about halfway through this thing. But unbelievable day. We've got the U.S. Open going on. We're going to talk some Jaguars football. But before we get to all that, Kai Stevens will join us. Mark Long will join us. But JJ, 2-0 at halftime. You kind of foresaw this coming. But what have you seen so far from this U.S. team who isn't playing with star Kristen Pulisic?
Listen, no Pulisic, no problem for the boys so far. Like I thought Australia would do, they're just sitting back, playing really defensively, and luckily we got that first goal. First of all, we're like own goal FC. This is the first time it's ever happened in the history of the World Cup that a team has gotten an own goal in back-to-back games. And so that really helped us out. It opened up play, and, yeah, we scored right before halftime, and it looks good for the boys, up 2-0.
Well, they're living right, JJ, is they get an own goal in their favor, but that play was made happen by speed on the perimeter.
Oh, yeah.
And to me, teams don't do that enough. They just don't throw the ball toward the penalty area. You never know what's going to happen. And then they get a goal called off, but then overturned in their favor in review. So, but you're right, every time you look up, the ball is never in the U.S. end of the field. Australia is like, okay, we're just going to throw 18 guys back and see if we can have a counterattack. Well, you got to get the ball first, and they haven't done that. So I would be more comfortable if I was the U.S. if I could make it 3-0 right away in the second, because that really takes out the fluky nature of a comeback.
And this was the exact game plan that Australia used against Turkey. And so, they were like, hey, we're comfortable playing defense, and we'll hit you on the counterattack. Well, it really doesn't work when you give up a goal early. And that's exactly what the U.S. did. And Australia's going to have to change the game plan, I would expect, at halftime, open up more, and that gives us more opportunities to hit them on the counter.
Yeah, and no Pulisic, but never underestimate a guy emerging who didn't think he was going to start. And they maybe just get a jolt from that. And, to me, I've just been pretty impressed so far because, the history of this program is to not play well in this match.
Oh, yeah. This would be like a draw or a loss in any other year. And I like what you said there, that the rest of the team knows that their number one player is out. And they all know, well, we got to pick it up individually. Each of us has to give that much more. And you can really see it. And these guys are playing so well together. And you see the reaction after the second goal, all going over to Freeman, the young 21-year-old. It's really awesome seeing this team right now.
In terms of, again, we're here at Mr. Chubbys in Ponte Vedra. Michelob Ultra has us out here. Buckets for just $14.50 if you come to Mr. Chubbys. So keep that in mind if you're on your way out here. JJ, as you get, remind me again, I mean, if they hold on here, there's a lot of history that they're going to make with the victory today, correct?
Yeah, they've never won 2 group stage games in the history of them at the World Cup, which seems crazy but true. And I don't think they've ever won a group before. I'm not sure about that, but which they wouldn't clinch after the win if they win today. They'd still have to get some help from Paraguay tonight. But, yeah, a lot of history, just not winning 2 group games ever.
Well, and also I think if you finish off this game and you get some help tonight and clinch your group tonight, well, now you can either sit some guys. Well, you don't have to play Pulisic at all in the next game. And then also you can probably manage Tim Ream's minutes, if at all, in the third game, and maybe try some other combinations to get them some World Cup experience. But I just want to say real quick, this place is hopping.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds amazing.
I mean, me and Hayes, we're probably parked closer to Nakati than the restaurant. But that's a good problem.
Yeah, it's fantastic out here for sure. The vibe is great. Chance of USA radiating throughout this place throughout that first half. And so JJ first off, JJ is going to be doing an instant reaction to this game in about an hour's time. So be sure to check that out. But JJ, give us a couple of keys as we get closer to this second half starting that you'd like to see the U.S. take advantage of.
I actually wasn't too impressed with the play of Pepe, who was Pulisic's replacement. It looked like we were our strategy was, hey, let's put 2 strikers in, 2 tall guys up front. I don't think he's done much. To me, he's just been kind of getting in the way. So I would probably bring on a guy like Reyna, maybe an Aronson, someone who can unlock this defense, because I don't think Australia is going to go gung-ho right away. But I think around the 60th minute mark, they're probably going to start to be like, all right, we got to score a goal here. And that's when we can hit them on the counterattack. So the USA needs to be really smart, make sure they don't give up a stupid goal, in the first 10 or 15 minutes of the half. And then we'll start to bring in the substitutes, and we'll see what happens there. But I would replace Pepe, and you just got to play really smart here.
Hey, real quick, JJ, on the second goal, we couldn't hear it. What was the explanation?
Well, the guy Freeman, so when the kick outside of the box was taken, there was about 3 guys from the USA that all were sort of standing in front of the keeper, and he was the one who scored, Freeman. What happened was the linesman put his flag up for offsides, but the guy who actually scored was onside. The other 2 were off, but because they weren't involved in play, it doesn't really matter where they were. So Freeman was onside. They do the review, and it was a quick explanation from the ref.
Yeah.
Well, I would, to JJ's point, I would stay on the front foot here to start. And if you get that third goal, then you can sub some guys out.
Yeah.
Then you can maybe just start playing a little bit more conservative. But right now you're controlling the play so much. It's just keep that pedal down.
And if they win, JJ, so the game against Turkey Thursday will be. It won't mean much. They'll have everything
so
clinched.
It depends on what happens tonight. So around 11 tonight, Paraguay plays Turkey. If it's any other result besides Turkey winning, then we've clinched the group.
Okay.
If we end up winning this game, there's still a lot of football left.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, if Paraguay gets a draw or a win tonight, the U.S. wins the group. And like Ryan said, that's so important because you can play some other guys that need minutes. You can sit some starters. You don't have to play Pulisic. He gets another extra week. So, yeah, that would be just epic if they were able to clinch the group after only 2 games. I mean, no one saw that coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, great first half for the U.S. Hopefully they can keep it going. We'll keep you updated. And, again, JJ will be here for about another hour, and then he's going to go do his instant reaction after the game, and then he'll rejoin us, and we'll get his comments moving forward. But we also have another huge event going on in this country, the U.S. Open in Shinnecock Hills. And, boy, it looked like the guys that went off late yesterday and then early were going to get a huge break, and they probably still got an advantage. It doesn't seem like Shinnecock Hills is really shown its teeth yet. I'm sure it will as we get into it. But we have seen some guys just basically shoot their way out of the tournament. Dustin Johnson was in incredible shape for a while, and then his round got out of hand. JJ, what happened to Rom?
Oh, so Rom he had to finish his round this morning, and he still finished 2 under. He was like one of the only guys on the course through like 20 holes that he had no bogeys. And then, in typical Rom fashion, one bad thing happens, and in his head, it just like mothballs into a huge thing. He loses his cool. And on one hole in particular, he hit into the bunker 4 straight shots, which I've never seen before in my whole life.
He couldn't get out of the same bunker 4 shots?
I don't know if it was the same. I just saw the shot chart, so I don't know. It was probably the same bunker, and then he hit into another bunker.
I got you. Okay. Wow. Okay, well.
And then DJ had like an 8 after he was at 4 under, tied for second, or sole possession of second.
Yeah.
So
he went
crumbled.
from 4 under to 4 over in like 3 holes.
Yes.
But I'll tell you, somebody who is so far unflappable at Shinnecock Hills, it's a surprise. Miles Russell, the amateur, the 17-year-old from Jacksonville, incredible stuff, Ryan.
Yeah.
He's not just surviving Shinnecock. He's throwing body blows to Shinnecock Hills. Give us an update.
He's at even for the tournament, tied for 15th.
That's amazing.
He's 2 under for the day. He started on 10. He birdied the par 4 12th, birdied the par 4 15th. So now, the cut is probably going to be like, it looks like it's around 4 right now.
Yeah.
So just, keep the train on the tracks. And he's tied right now for low amateur with Ryder Cohen, who shot a 72 today, who quite frankly, when they interviewed him on TV, he's damn near 30.
Yeah.
He played at Oklahoma.
Right.
So,
He's got a better beard than I could ever grow.
Yes,
Yeah, me
I
too.
agree. So, Russell had to sit on that all day today. He didn't tee off to around 2:30, 3 o'clock, but he got up to a good start. And, me and Gary Smith were talking about this earlier is, hey, hit it straight. You're getting a roll today. I mean, if you're playing downwind, you're seeing long drives with long rolls, and then you got to hit a putt.
Yeah,
Great story.
It's tough, but it's not at all unfair. It may become that as we get into the weekend. We know the USGA is, I'm sure they're not loving their leader right now, Wyndham Clark being at 7, but Wyndham's at 7, right?
Yeah. So
and then Xander played very well today. Matt Fitzpatrick. JJ, you liked Fitzpatrick, right?
I liked Wyndham and Fitzpatrick. Instead, I picked Rahm. But yeah, Wyndham was fantastic after it looked like his round was sort of getting away from him. On the back 9, he hit a couple big birdies, especially on 18 to end his round with such momentum after he hit like a 30-foot putt to walk it off. And he looks great right now. And yeah, Xander, like we all know, it's the U.S. Open. He's going to finish in the top 15, but this might be his year. I mean, he had a little hiccup in the back 9, but he looks great, and he looks set for the weekend, for a good run this weekend.
And that's Frank's pick.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
If I'm the USGA and I got my leader at 7, but then nobody else more than 3, I keep the courses as it is.
Yeah.
Because, it's making for, the television yesterday in the morning was terrible. It wasn't entertaining. Now you got guys being able to go at the stick. They're being able to put some spin on the ball. There's nothing wrong with a slow green because you want to be entertaining, even if you want to be the examination of the champion golfer or whatever the hell they call it. So if your leader's at 7, nobody else is better than 3, I would say, hey, keep it going.
Yeah, but we know they won't. We know it's going to annoy them, and it'll be interesting to see how really what they're going to do is they're just going to dry out Shinnecock, and it's going to become, then you run the risk. And I think the USGA has done a fantastic job to this point. I haven't watched as much today as was able to do yesterday. We had a great lunch to give a hat tip to
Alessandra departing from Channel 4. She had a video today on Twitter, and it was me, you, Gary Smits, Mike DiRocco, and so we met on Beach Boulevard, her pick, and had a great couple hours there. Yes, we told some stories.
We did tell some
about
stories.
A certain ex-columnist who had trouble on the road.
Yes.
But I'll let people fill in the blank. But, she's a sweetheart, and we're going to miss her.
We are going to miss her. Wish her the best of luck. Alessandra Pomprion's done a great job here in Jacksonville, and look forward to seeing her next move. But yeah, so when we come back on the lead, let's get it to the Jaguars. Ryan wrote a great column about Jabbar Muhammad, a young defensive back that's really made a name for himself throughout the OTAs, throughout the off-season program, and I want to hear about him. I want to hear about his story, and if you think he's got a legit chance to make this 53, because certainly he's been one of the real surprise guys. So we will talk some Jaguars. We'll get Ryan's thoughts on Brendan Sorsby. Should the Jaguars put in a comp pick to try and acquire the controversial quarterback whose college career has ended through gambling? He will be in the supplemental draft coming up in a couple of weeks. Lots of Jaguars for you. Kai Stevens at 4:35, Mark Long at 5:15, and we'll continue to update you on the U.S. soccer team as the second half is underway. We're at Mr. Chubbys in Ponte Vedra. Come see us. You're listening to The Lead on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is The Lead from the Harrell & Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
1010XL is multimedia. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
You can't buy this kind of media exposure.
1010XL, maximum media exposure.
Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why we are North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes in our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. KeyBuickGMC.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
You know interest rates are high all over the country, except right here at Beards Diamonds. Beards has rolled back interest rates all the way to 0. Pick in here, that's right. Get 0.0% financing now through June 30th for 5 years. You can splurge on that $10,000 engagement ring, pay $167 a month, nothing down. Pick any item, spread your payments over 5 years, 0 interest charges. Who else does that? Beards Diamonds is making everything more affordable. Earrings, pendants, bands, bracelets, colored gemstone jewelry, designer fashion jewelry. Now through June 30th, get the best value price Beards is famous for and enjoy 5 years of interest-free financing. A $3,000 pair of earrings she's been dreaming about, $50 a month, 0 down. All natural and lab-grown diamonds included. Don't miss this extraordinary smart buying opportunity. Beards Diamonds, Jacksonville's premier jeweler. Not corporate-owned like everyone else, but locally owned for more than 4 decades. Beards Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, johnautomotivejacks.com.
Big personalities, bold opinions, lunch just got louder. Josie, Matt, and Leon are XL Prime Time from the big #1 Duval Ford Studios.
Any questions? Yeah, when's lunch?
Noon to 2 on 1010XL.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. ET here, and it's bigger game days and UFC fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that's always coming through in the clutch every day, from lunch to late at night? Only at Twin Peaks, your #1 sports bar.
Summer's here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your backyard with Superior Fence and Rail. Get the fence you've been wanting with 12 months financing and no interest, so you can enjoy more privacy, more security, and more curb appeal without the upfront stress. Make your outdoor space ready for summer. You must have credit approval from our third-party financial institution. Call today or visit SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com. Hi, I'm Dr. Kevin Kaplan with Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville. June is Men's Health Month, and here's an important tip. Don't ignore lingering pain. If soreness lasts more than a few days, it could be a sign of a more serious injury. Early treatment can help prevent long-term damage and get you back in the game faster. The OSJ team provides expert orthopedic care for active people, athletes, and weekend warriors across Northeast Florida. Visit Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville at one of our 2 locations, Baptist South or JTB in Kernan, and get back to doing what you love, pain-free.
Southwest Greens is the OG of artificial turf in North Florida. Stop mowing and start chipping or putting or just relaxing with a beautiful backyard, maintenance free. Log on to southwestgreensofjacksonville.com to see what they can do to your backyard.
Attention skilled electricians, are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Welcome back to The Lead. Ryan O'Halloran, JJ LaSelva, I'm Hayes Carline. We're live here in Mr. Chubbys in Ponte Vedra, having a great time. The U.S. with a pretty decent chance, really good chance right there. But still have a 2-0 lead as we are in the 52nd minute. JJ, pretty good attempt right there.
Yeah, like I thought, we might be able to get him on the counterattack as they try to push forward for a goal, and Balagoon just barely missed it, got deflected and for a corner now.
Should have shot earlier. I'm second guessing him.
Yeah. Well, let's get it to the Jaguars. Let's talk about one of the surprises of the offseason, Ryan. Jabbar Muhammad, you wrote a column about him. It's on Jacksonville.com. People can go see it. And again, you can follow Ryan at Ryan O'Halloran. But give us a sense of Jabbar's journey here. And what kind of a chance do you think he has to make the 53?
Yeah, interesting journey. And the first time we were out there for that indoor practice last month, I wrote down 37 PBU like twice. Then I started writing it again. Then he had an interception. It's like, hey, somebody's got to get to know this kid. So I'll mention you're one of your guests yesterday, Rachel Phillips. We talked to him. We talked to Jabbar after the OTA on Monday, and we're like, this is a kid. This is a great kid. Because after the interview, he says, I'm sorry, I tend to talk too fast. We're like, that's not a problem, pal. But the journey from Texas, Oklahoma State to Washington to Oregon. Undrafted, probably because he was 5'10", signed with the Jaguars after the draft, was on the practice squad the entire year. It's pretty rare for a guy to be on the practice squad for 18 weeks and get no call-ups. But he stuck with it. He re-signed here. He credited Jordan Lewis with really being a mentor to him last year. He said, hey, I know it can be frustrating, but stay with it. I have him right now as the 5th corner on the roster, the edge over Chris Braswell. He's going to play a lot in the preseason, obviously. Can play inside and outside. And you can believe me if you want. The head football coach says he's probably the most improved player. That gets your attention because when Liam is saying that about a guy on defense, that means he's showing up on tape.
Yeah, without a doubt. And again, if you haven't gotten a chance to go read Ryan's column on Jabbar Mohammed, I think a big Jag story this week that, again, it speaks to the health of the roster. It speaks to the health of the team that we're talking about. Hey, what are they going to do with the backup quarterback situation down the road? Obviously, we know Trevor Lawrence, MVP finalist. They've got no issues there. But Nick Mullins is going into his final year, and I don't think he's looked great, from what we've seen. He sort of is what he is. Brendan Sorsby is going to be in the supplemental draft, and we know there'll be a lot of teams that say thanks but no thanks, and the Jaguars may be among those teams. But if they're comfortable with Brendan Sorsby and the gambling that he's had off the field, if they feel like he's, battled through that addiction, is that a player? Do you throw a 6th, 7th round compensatory pick out there just on the chance that teams are turned off by it? How would you handle that?
I would put a bid in, which is exactly what it is. It'd be a late round pick. And I wrote a quickie column about that today on Jacksonville.com. Did the why it would make sense, why it did. To sum it up, why it would make sense, you hit it. Nick Mullins saved his best half practice for when the fans were there during minicamp. Other than that, he's been underwhelming. He has the trust of Trevor. He has the trust of the head coach, which goes a long way. But he's a free agent after this year, and he counts $2.5 million toward the cap this year. You can get cheaper there and better. Okay, Sorsby. He's an emerging player, I think. He had 30 touchdowns, 9 interceptions last year for Cincinnati, so I think he's on the upswing. He's only 22. You have a lot of picks. You can afford to take a shot. Let's go to the other side. He doesn't exactly check that box of being intangibly rich. And ultimately, that's what is going to scare teams away. But to me, if I'm the Jaguars, what would ultimately tell me, hey, I'm going to pass, he's not going to give you any help this year. And basically, he's a 53rd man when you probably need that spot for an O-lineman or a corner or whatever. So I would investigate it. I think it was Rappaport today said all 32 teams are going to be at his pro day. That's interesting, especially from a Jaguar standpoint, because that's not usually in their wheelhouse. So I think it's worth investigating. It's worth a conversation. And as you said on the rundown the other day, this is an ownership level conversation as well. And I think Shad has enough trust in these guys that if it comes to him, he will rubber stamp it.
I mean, the first thing is, does Liam like him?
Yeah.
If Liam doesn't like him,
moot point.
None of this matters.
Yeah.
It probably only becomes an issue if Liam really does like him as a prospect. That's when it becomes interesting.
Yeah. Then it becomes 4th and 5th.
Yeah. Then it gets interesting. I don't think the league will suspend him. They certainly could. It's in their right. You think they will?
Well, as I read up on it, it would be unprecedented since he wasn't a player under contract. My thing is he going to come into the league with 1 strike, like if you fail the pot test?
Right.
To me, but if I'm a team, I want to get clarity on that.
I almost think for the purposes of the Jaguars, it'd be better if he got a year-long suspension, because now it's probably taking, I mean, maybe not, but it certainly would probably take the Jets, the Browns, the Steelers, the teams that might go 4th, 5th round. It might take them out of it.
Yeah.
If you're a team like the Jaguars and you'd be making this more for 2027 and beyond.
Yeah.
But if you like the kid and he can be a backup to Trevor that you can rely on, it's very cheap labor for 4 years.
Yeah, and at that part of the draft, it's great value because, like you said, I don't buy he would have been a first-round pick this year, or else he would have come out.
There's no chance.
So,
that's how you know he was not.
Yeah.
But second or third round, he certainly might have been.
And he had a $5 million offer from Texas Tech. So theoretically, he made the right decision.
Yeah.
To take the money and keep the money. But he would have had
and
to
he made the right decision to bet the unders. No. I
believe in Kirk Cignetti.
Right, exactly. But I mean, that's what I think. If he got suspended for the year, now it makes more sense. Because I don't think the Jaguars, to your point, it almost becomes clunky if you were to let's say they got him with a 7th round comp pick in a couple of weeks. Well, now he does have to be on your 53. They do have, I think, a lot of really good battles. So you probably don't really want to keep 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You're probably now not able to keep a tight end that you like, or a safety that you like, or go down the line. And so it'll be interesting to see. But I'm with you. All you can do is throw the pick out there. I mean, all you can do is basically say, we're in for a 7th rounder in 27. It's probably not going to material. You're probably not going to get the player, but I take a chance just because there's no risk involved.
Yeah, and if somebody else does get him, which will happen, it's going to get out who made bids. And so that would be a nice question for Liam Cohen on the first day of camp. Hey, you bid a 6th-round pick for Sorsby. What'd you like about him?
Right.
And just to get his take, because what I think that will reveal is this is the kind of guy I want next year to be the backup. And because he said, I think it was the second night of the draft, he didn't really get any quarterbacks this year, even in a day 3, because they ended up picking one.
Right.
But to me, it has to become the radar, not because of Lawrence, but cost-effective, and also, say you develop a guy, you may be able to flip him in 2 years.
Well, the other thing, too, is you have 10 picks projected in the 2027 draft. You're not going to have 10 players. This roster is going to be even better shape, I think, next year than it is now. And so to think that you're going to have 10 picks, they're going to make the 27-53. I mean, why not go ahead and, again, my guess is I think the Jets, the Browns, the Steelers, somebody's going to throw a 4th, 5th round, and it's going to be moved. But I think it's worth a discussion because they need to figure out a long-term plan at backup quarterback that is not paying a Jacoby Brissett $8 or $9 million to be your backup.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence's contract is very expensive, as it should be. He is playing, and certainly we believe will continue to play at that level. But you don't want to be investing $66 million in your quarterback room. You're already at 55 with Trevor, so you need to be able to find a backup that ideally would be on a very cheap rookie contract. But obviously that's very difficult to find somebody that you feel like can step in for a few games if need be, that isn't, doesn't have a track record of success and isn't a high pick.
Yeah, and if I'm a team like the Jets and general manager Darren Moogie, I bid a 3rd because you have 2 1s in next year's draft. So, you can take a 3rd if I get clarity that he's going to be eligible to play, because then that gives me an opportunity at some point when Geno Smith runs his course, play Sorsby in New York. If he can handle it, then maybe that changes your focus for the 2027 draft. And here's the other thing. Let's say they win a couple more games, the Jets. They may play their way out of that. Steelers, I would consider it. Browns, I wouldn't, because you got enough headaches on that roster right now. You don't need another distraction.
Yeah, that's probably just like if Monken loves them, then maybe you do something like that. But no, I would agree with you. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's a good starting point to the conversation of what are they going to do beyond Trevor, with that backup spot as the years go on. Because it seems like right now it's a decent solution with Mullins, but he's a free agent, and and you need to try and have somebody in there that's economical.
Yeah, and they're going to keep 2 quarterbacks on the 53. Hey, I mean, Carter Bradley did impress them last year because he was able to pick things up quickly, and I thought he made some good throws. I mean, I noticed him more than I did Aguilar.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think Carter goes into camp as the favorite to be that practice squad quarterback. But so keep it simple. Keep it 2, and then keep Bradley as your practice quarter.
The Jaguars had the assistant coaches meet with media on Monday, and I know you've already been talking to the assistants. But what sort of a couple of takeaways, vibes that you got from Liam Cohen's staff?
It's a very smart staff, and he is not afraid to bring in guys that are more experienced than him, have more play calling experience than him. Shane Waldron's called plays for more years in this league than Liam Cohen. That doesn't matter. So that's the vibe I get. And I asked Sean Serrett, the O-line coach, this has stuck with me. I was like, what's it like when Liam walks into the room on a Wednesday morning, talks to the staff and the players, and he looks at me and he says, this guy coached with Mike Tomlin. He goes, he makes it like you're the only one he's talking to. I was like,
That's awesome.
How does he do that? He goes, I mean, he's scans the room, but he goes, that's how special this guy is. And this is Sean Serrett. He's a guy that learned from Mike Munchak and the O-line coach, worked for Mike Tomlin. So worked for Kevin O'Connell. So that was a takeaway the fans will really get. But overall, they like Branson Combs at linebacker. And so when they put the pads on, I think Ventrell Miller will start the season, but don't be surprised if Combs gets some reps in there. And Edgar Bennett was high on Travis Hunter, as he should be, but also they brought in 2 new assistants, Picucci on the run game and Arguro. I think I was convinced that. Matthew on defense, the way he coaches corners during practice is pretty awesome. And like one thing that me and him talked about is 3 years ago in Miami, he was Vic Fangio's quality control coach. Sign me up.
Yeah.
That's all I need to hear. As somebody who covered Vic in Denver, he says it was like a PhD in defense, red zone protections, rushes. So I like the staff he's put together.
And I think this staff will be upgrades probably too strong. They won 13 games last year. But from a cohesive standpoint, it seems like the 2 assistants that they've brought in, one on each side of the ball, really speak the language of either Liam Cohen or Anthony Campanile.
Especially Brian Picucci. He was Liam's offensive coordinator when Liam's a quarterback at UMass. That's how far they go back. Matthew on the defensive side was with Campanile at 2 different stops. I think he's the next defensive coordinator. I think that was what their move was because they hired him before they knew Camp was going to be back. So I think I was telegraphing that move.
Do you think Liam has an in-house for Udinsky if Udinsky gets a head job after this year?
I poked around on that when Grant was interviewing, and the first answer I got was, don't know. It feels like they really like Waldron in his role as the pass game guy. But what I think would have happened is they would not have filled that spot for the year.
Oh, wow, okay.
I thought they have a run game coordinator, a pass game coordinator, and your head coach is the play caller. I think they would have, hey, let's just get through this year, see if anybody emerges. It's not uncommon, but that would have been my guess.
Yeah. JJ, give us an update on what's going on. Obviously, Australia's had a couple of chances here, but the U.S. still has a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, like I suspected, Tim Ream got completely exposed a couple minutes ago. He was trying to play like a high line, which means he's trying to play the Australian guy off sides. Unfortunately, he guessed wrong or timed it wrong, and they had a big opportunity down the right. And then just now, the defense, they're just trying to pass it amongst themselves and makes a mistake and gives them another opportunity. So the U.S. is lucky that they're still up 2-0.
Shouldn't a 51-year-old defender like Tim Reed understand scoring situations? You're up 2-0. Don't be messing around with trying to get a guy offside.
Exactly.
Just keep him in front of you.
But that's the problem. He knows that he's not fast enough to play against a guy like that, so he's trying to use old school tricks. And,
take him off the field.
I'm with you, man.
Well, there was some.
He's not my favorite.
Some nervous moments here among the fans, but everything seems to have calmed here as we're out here at Mr. Chubbys in Ponte Vedra. Again, Michelob Ultra has us out here. Buckets were just $14.50, so lots of fun being had out here at Mr. Chubbys. Hopefully the U.S. will get another goal, get it to 3-0, get some breathing room. We'll keep you updated. You were listening to The Lead on 1010XL, 92.5 FM. When we come back, Kai Stevens of Jaguars.com joins us to talk Jaguars. Up next.
The Lead from the Harrell & Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies. This U.S. Open update on 1010XL is brought to you by TopDressing.com and LiveForeverGolf.com.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 126th U.S. Open Championship, sponsored by Grainger. With professional-grade products for every industry, Grainger has you covered. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Maybe this can jumpstart Scottie Scheffler in his hunt for the career Grand Slam. A 40-foot birdie at 15, his sixth hole today. The number one player in the world is 1 over, 8 off the lead. Wyndham Clark out in front at 7 under. The 2023 U.S. Open champ has set the 36-hole scoring record at a U.S. Open hosted by Shinnecock. This is the 6th U.S. Open at the iconic venue. 4 players are at 3 under. Matt Fitzpatrick, Xander Schauffele, both of them in the clubhouse. Harry Higgs and Max Grazerman still on the course. Higgs is cooking right now, 4 under through 12. Rory McIlroy is 2 under, 5 back. John Rahm will miss the cut at 6 over. He shot 78 today. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
It's Men's Health Month, and Ackerman Urology reminds you that early detection matters for prostate health. If you're over 40, now's the time to get checked. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. So don't wait. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. Tomorrow is our June card show at Showtime. It lasts from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. with around 20 tables of vendors. Shop for football, baseball, Pokemon cards, and more. Card show tomorrow at Showtime. Sports cards and collectibles. Update your collection.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you as Walk-Off Charities has grown, we now manage a large athletic facility with numerous fields, including the Bregan Baseball Complex. To get around, we needed a good, reliable golf cart. I went straight to Dynamic Drives and Design in Jack's Peak. I met with Travis, told him exactly what our needs were. Would you believe before you knew it, the perfect cart was delivered to us at an incredible price? If you need a golf cart, Travis and his team are the go-to. Learn more about them at dynamicdrivesdesign.com.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy Drink, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
Prosser here. The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tourney on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final. Our resident soccer podcast host, JJ, picked France to win it all. France trading around 16% to win. That means a $100 trade would pay out around $600 if they take home soccer's biggest prize. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house, and as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code 1010XL to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade the beautiful game. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Fine light in the beautiful sea.
Welcome back to The Lead on 1010XL 92.5 FM. It is our great pleasure to welcome in Kai Stevens at Jaguars.com. Kai, good afternoon. Are you swept up in U.S. soccer fever?
Hi, guys. Yes, of course. How can you not be? Although I have been watching it on Peacock in Spanish because the announcers are getting really into it, and it's making me more excited. So that's my hack.
Very good. Well, obviously it's been a fun week at the Jaguars as they're now sort of on their summer break. But we can kind of look back at the offseason just in general, Kai. What stood out to you? Do you like the feel of the team as we get about a month away from training camp?
Yeah, I think it feels good. I think I always say this time of year you can tell when they're trying to figure stuff out and like whether they're trying to see if something works. But they're certainly at a stage now where they know what they're doing. They have their program in place. Everybody's comfortable with it, and now it's just a matter of getting the reps in and getting to training camp, I think.
Kai, since we last visited, the second episode of The Hunt debuted by your production team. Any couple takeaways from that episode?
Yeah, it's always really fun to kind of go through that process because everybody sees like the draft itself, but they don't realize how long that they've been working on that, right? And I mean that in terms of front office and scouts and everything. But then also just getting to know these new players because we don't know a ton about them, right? I mean, there's always a class of close to a dozen or so. So you're always learning more about that, plus the undrafted guys. And I always think it's cool. They give us a ton of access to see the behind the scenes and the makings of and all of that. And I know everybody loves that.
Kai, I know you're working on a Travis Hunter piece. Tell us what goes into that and when we can expect to see that on Jaguars.com.
Sure. So I think it's interesting because like we talked so much this off season, and it's like Travis Hunter's almost been quote forgotten a little bit to a certain degree just because of how well the team did last season. But he's in his rehab process right now, and we see him a ton inside the building. So we've been working. The Hunt team has been working on something just in terms of his rehab process, what that looks like. They have a brand new walkthrough room downstairs that he utilizes a lot, and he's also been working with one of their new defensive coaches, Matthew Arugio, who joined the team from the Dolphins, previously worked with Anthony Campanile. And I think working with him has really helped a lot, as well as Travis Hunter's going to be back out there playing on both sides of the ball. So he's got to learn those two playbooks.
Hey, I'm going to follow up on that walkthrough room. To describe it and how real can it be?
So I think it operates in a couple different ways. The way I have seen it operate is they use it. It looks more like a video game where they set up different plays. And basically what it is, I'd say it's probably close to half or two widths of the field of a football field. So it's probably number line to number line. So it's pretty wide. You can at least like line up as if you were going to play, and then it's 10 yards deep. So with a little bit on the edges, and basically the entire front of you is a screen. So it's as if you're lining up against them. They can do a zoomed out view, and I've seen them do that with like more of like an animated way of having the players line up, but they can also basically film across on an end zone and shoot it like it's a real game.
Kai Stevens at Jaguars.com joining us. And Kai, we don't want to keep you too long because obviously we got the soccer game wrapping up. Don't want to take you away from that. But the assistants met with reporters after Monday's OTA is sort of a wrap-up, which is really cool to have all of them in the room, and they break it up offense, defense. What were some of the takeaways that you had from that session?
Yeah, I think, as I mentioned, Matthew Rougeau wins the new coaches, but he's working with Travis Hunter as he works with the defensive backs mostly. And what he's been able to do, he's like a mini Anthony Campanile, which, as you all know, Camp is my favorite. So I think having another voice like that in the building is going to be helpful. And also just like, I feel like everybody's really on the same page about the running game, which is interesting because we talk so much about what Trevor Lawrence is going to be able to do and all the wide receivers, but a lot of them like talk about the run game first more than anything, which I think is important. And it'll establish this team as well balanced and then open things up for the pass game.
Awesome. Kai Stevens, we certainly appreciate it. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next Friday, Kai.
Of course, enjoy the game.
All right,
Thanks,
you too. Yep, that was fantastic. Kai Stevens at Jaguars.com. Always appreciate Kai's time. We come back on the lead. Let's get it to Shinnecock Hills. We're going to talk some U.S. Open because we have a young man from Jacksonville that is doing something simply extraordinary. We'll fill you in. You're listening to The Lead on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You're listening to The Lead from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Jacksonville, you voted, and Baker Glass came out on top. The Bold City Best Awards are all about locals choosing their favorites, and you picked them for Best Auto Glass and Best Glass and Mirror Service.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
This is Hayes Carlyon for Harold & Harold. You've heard me talk about Harold & Harold for years. Holt Harold is a friend of mine. We went to school together and have known each other for decades. That's why I care about people choosing the right attorney after an accident. Who you choose first really matters. I've heard from Holt how confusing the insurance process can be and how long it can take to get the right medical care. I've also seen firsthand with friends and family who were in accidents. Once Holt and his team stepped in, the insurance calls stopped. Call Harold & Harold at 251-1111.
Get geared up for your golf weekend with Dan, Jeff, and PGA Pros on Brunch with the Tour.
Expect anything different?
Tuesday morning at 8:30. Teed up by North Florida Medical Centers and Clearwater Irrigation on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
You ready to try your luck tonight?
At Best Bet, always, especially one-card poker.
One card? That's it?
One card. I mean, it's fast action, big excitement, and every hand could be the winner.
Okay, now this is my kind of poker room.
Get in on the action with one-card poker at Best Bet. Great games, great food, and the best poker atmosphere in town. See you at the tables. Visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
America's turning 250, and Superior Fireworks is ready for the biggest 4th of July in a generation. Beat the rush and save during their 4th of July early sale, now through June 30th. Shop early for the best prices, selection, and shopping experience before huge last-minute crowds arrive. Superior Fireworks, the locally owned fireworks superstore, right on Blanding Boulevard in Orange Park and at superiorfireworks.com/radio.
It's almost time to kick off the 2026 season at the bank. Whether you want to be at the center of it all as a season ticket member, lock in 3 or more games with a bundle at the bank, or cheer on the Jags at your most anticipated matchup, there's a way for everyone to be a part of the action. Seating is limited, so don't wait. Secure your tickets now by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000.
Hi, I'm Linda from Newburyport. I lost 20 pounds on Awaken 180. In my family, there's a history of type 2 diabetes. I've always carried more weight than I should, and my glucose levels had always been hovering at that pre-diabetic. My goal was to see if I can avoid becoming a diabetic after having been on the Awaken 180 program and getting the 20 pounds off. I am no longer pre-diabetic, and I am on a low dose high blood pressure medication. And in my last 2 physicals, my doctor has been sort of like, we may need to either cut back or we might even be able to at some point take me off. Awaken 180 is just one of those tools in my health toolkit. It's really easy.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. That's what this is really about. The numbers your doctor reads, not just the one on the scale. Linda changed hers with Awaken 180, medication free, and so did I. Yours could be next. Awaken180weightloss.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Welcome back to the lead on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hayes Carline along with Ryan O'Halloran. JJ LaSelva here, but he's getting ready to go do an instant reaction for this U.S. soccer game. They're now in the 83rd minute. The U.S. still has a 2-0 lead over Australia, so it's looking good right now. But let's talk U.S. Open, Shinnecock Hills, and we'll get to the Wyndham Clarks and the Rory McIlroys and the Xander Schauffele's, Ryan. But my goodness, something extraordinary is happening with a local product.
Yeah, Miles Russell, youngest player in the field at 17. Jack's Beach, Florida State. Potentially. Yeah. I don't know why.
Yeah.
He is right now tied for 15th. He is at 2 under for the day.
That's amazing.
He is at even for the tournament. Okay. At 2 under for the day, he has tied for the second best round on the course going on right now with a guy named Rory McIlroy.
How about that?
His score of even is 1 shot better than a guy named Scotty Scheffler. So he's played no bogeys through 10 holes today. The pace of play has slowed down.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they are plodding along. It feels like Russell's been stuck on number 10 here for about 20 minutes, but he came into the day two over and said, hey, just do that again. You probably make the cut. Well, he's doing better than that. And right now, tied for 15.
I mean, he's in it. He's more in it than he is like having to worry about the cut.
Yeah.
The cut looks like it's going to be 3 over right now. I still think it actually gets to 4 because I think we're going to lean more to seeing carnage than great play in these final 3 hours before the second round concludes. So last I checked, there was about 56 players at 3 over. They take the top 60 in ties to the weekend. So, but I mean, he's well clear of that. I mean, all you need to know about Miles Russell, to your point, he is beating Scotty Scheffler at 4:50 on Friday afternoon at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, and you could name a whole bunch of other major champions. He's having a better week than, but sometimes the unknowns of youth benefit you. And he's probably, he said on Wednesday, you got to play a boring game. Remarkable, mature statement. He's probably saying, hey, I'm probably going to take a little bit of yardage in addition for accuracy and then hit those long irons. So right now, if he can par out, he should feel awesome.
Oh, I mean,
first week.
For him to go, he didn't have a single double bogey yesterday, which is, again, he's 17 years old playing one of our nation's hardest golf courses. Didn't have a double bogey yesterday. Look at players like a Dustin Johnson, who went from 4 under. I mean, DJ yesterday, that was the best I'd seen DJ play in 4 or 5 years since he went to live. He fell apart today. John Rahm, who played very well at the PGA Championship last month, looked like he was refinding his form as he tries to move away from live and increase his stock as much as he can to avoid significant heavy penalties to get back with the PGA Tour. John Rahm, I mean, yesterday played well, looked good this morning, totally fell apart on the back 9, shot 41 on the back 9. So we're seeing some world-class players really struggle at Shinnecock despite the more benign conditions. Miles Russell, I mean, you couldn't be more impressed.
Yeah,
He's in it.
Yeah.
He's in the U.S. Open.
And
He's in contention.
With Rahm 78, Johnson 77. And Liv's got to do something. It has to be something about it because maybe they weren't used to teeing off on 1 and 10.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is what I think it all comes down to this. I think they know Liv is crumbling, and they know the best way to get, like, the Koepka deal, which none of them are going to get that, but the best thing to get closest to the Koepka deal is be able to say, well, I'm the reigning U.S. Open champion, or I'm the reigning British Open champion as we get to that next month. But it's been remarkable. Let's talk about Wyndham Clark just briefly. He is leading at 7 under with a big lead. It's, 4 shots right now?
Yeah, 4 over a bunch of guys at 3.
He's a former U.S. Open champ, but won that event several years ago and then just sort of hit a lull that's been very hard for him to come out of. But we've seen in the last 3 or 4 weeks, Wyndham Clark winning, playing very consistently high-level golf. What do you think? Do you think this is Wyndham Clark's to lose?
No, I wouldn't go there yet because, that train wreck hole can hit anybody.
Yeah.
He had a low score yesterday and then came back today, shot 69. He's really cleaned up. He had all 3 of his birdies were on par 4s, which means you're going right after the pin. Well, if they let that course dry out a little bit, does that change the scoring for him a little bit? But yeah, I mean, I probably walked 4 or 5 holes with him at the Players, and he's plodding along. And he won at Pebble Beach this year, I think. I think that was right. So he hasn't went on his docket this year. But I mean, to sleep on a 4-shot lead at the U.S. Open going into Saturday, I don't think he's going to sleep very much.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can't pick Wyndham Clark, even based on. Again, he checks a lot of the boxes. He's won this event, so he does. The winning your first major, that doesn't exist for Wyndham Clark. He does have a nice cushion, and he's played really well of late. But boy, Rory McIlroy, the way he's going right now, Xander Schauffele, the way he is going right now. Colin Morikawa is played really well today. Had a great day, and you wonder what kind of year Morikawa would have had he not had the back injury right out of the gate at the Players Championship, because he really came in with a lot of momentum. So again,
real quick on McIlroy, he's 2 under through 9 today. What would be encouraging for the McIlroy camp is there's not square circle circle. He's bogey 3 through 9 and 2 birdies. If he plays like that, he's going to win.
I agree. And yesterday, he played great yesterday. I got to watch almost that entire round. And then he had the bogey on the 17th and 18th. You wondered how he'd be able to handle that. He's obviously handled it marvelously well, at least through the first 9. But like we've seen today, Jon Rahm was looking good through his first 9 today, and then just totally fell apart. So to your point at Shinnecock Hills, it can change quick. There's not a lot of water at all. But boy, the bunkers, the greens, how difficult they are, you can certainly put up a big number pretty quick. So we'll keep you up to date on the U.S. Open. We're going to take a break now. When we come back, this game should be getting close to being wrapped up. They're in the 90th minute now. We do not have injury time yet, but the U.S. looking in great shape with a 2-0 lead over Australia. Hopefully we'll be doing some post-game celebrating when we come back. You're listening to The Lead on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
It's The Lead with Hayes, Ryan, and JJ from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This U.S. Open update on 1010XL is brought to you by TopDressing.com and LiveForeverGolf.com.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 126th U.S. Open Championship. Stay in the game all offseason with NFL Plus. Subscribe at plus.nfl.com. Terms and conditions apply. Rory McIlroy misses a 6-foot birdie at 9 to the left. He remains at 3 under in a tie for second. Wyndham Clark has a grip on this championship, much like Team USA does against Australia, leading 2-0 deep in the second half in the World Cup. Clark is 7 under par. He's up by 4 over McIlroy, Xander Schauffele, Matt Fitzpatrick, Sam Stevens, and Max Grazerman. Stevens and Grazerman on the course like Rory. Stevens has played 13 holes. Grazerman is through 6. Schauffele shot 4 under 66 today. Fitzpatrick an even par 70. Colin Morikawa with a 5 under 65 to move to 2 under for the week. He is 5 back. I'm Ted Emmerich. Westwood One Sports.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good night's sleep.
Nobody likes feeling taken advantage of by a service company. That's why homeowners across Northeast Florida choose Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When we come to your home, our job is simple. Find the problem, fix the problem. Charge a fair price, no upselling, no scare tactics, no surprise recommendations designed to sell you more than you need. Quality work from a local team you can trust. Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
When you're hungry, go big, and more importantly, go to Dailies, where they got anything and everything to tantalize your taste buds and fill you up. At Dailies, our barbecue beef brisket sandwich is slow smoked to perfection, tender, juicy, and full of bold flavor. It's the kind of sandwich that truly satisfies. Try the barbecue brisket sandwich at Dailies. Meanwhile, some favorites never go out of style. The Duval sub at Dailies is stacked, loaded, and made with the bold flavor you want in every bite. Fresh ingredients, big taste. It's a local favorite. Grab the Duval sub today at Dailies. Or maybe you just want a delicious chicken sandwich. Some choices just work. The chicken sandwich at Dailies is crispy on the outside, it's juicy on the inside, and it is full of flavor. Perfect for lunch, perfect for dinner, perfect anytime hunger hits. So grab the chicken sandwich today at Dailies. Dailies is made fresh, it's made local, and Dailies is built for big appetites. I'll see you there today.
Take a walk on the wild side and step into the great outdoors.
Look at this beast.
Captain Kevin and Captain Kirk join Jeff Lageman every Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on the Nimnet Outdoors Show.
You got it.
On 1010XL.
The Jacksonville Axemen Rugby League is a full-contact sport that just hits different. It's fast-paced, no pads, no helmets. This Saturday, the Axemen battle the Tampa Mayhem at JU's The Rock Stadium at 7. Get there early for 90 minutes of non-stop action. Plus, the Permit Rockstar Bounce House for the kids. The Axemen are powered by Permit Rockstar, simplifying construction permits fast. Saturday night, Axemen Rugby League, 7 p.m., The Rock Stadium. It's gonna get intense.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Want to stretch that dollar? Taylor Doll here to help save you money with the Money Pages magazine and app. Trying to figure out dinner? Money Pages has deals at your favorite local restaurants. Need auto repairs or an oil change? Money Pages has coupons to help you save. Looking to do some home improvement projects? Money Pages has deals on everything home, from AC repair and plumbing to flooring and painting. Check your mailbox for Money Pages today and download the app for savings on the go.
For every special occasion, Kuhn Flowers can deliver a beautiful floral arrangement with a click, a call, or a visit to one of their beautiful showrooms. This is RJ with 1010XL. When you need to show someone that you remembered, think Kuhn Flowers.
Retired U.S. Navy Commander Chris Valdivia from American Roll-On Roll-Off Carrier. The hardest transition isn't deployment, it's coming home. Be part of the solution at ONU's Mission Possible Gala, October 17th at Sawgrass Marriott. For information and to register, go to onuvets.org. That's onuvets.org.
Hey gang, Prosser here again for my friends Chad and Sandy at Chad and Sandy Realty. To maximize price on your home, you need more than a sign in the yard. You need a proven expert with an aggressive marketing plan. That's why more homeowners are turning to Chad and Sandy Realty. Chad and Sandy's Market Max system is a proven plan. It's going to get your home sold fast for maximum price. You need to sell now? Chad and Sandy have instant offers. Fast, easy, stress-free. But this is bottom line. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required repairs. Pick your move date. No long-term contracts. Just listen to Eric and Jason, brothers in Villa San Jose. After losing our parents, my brother and I were left with a family home to sell. After 196 days on the market with another agent, it just sat there. We heard Chad and Sandy on the radio, gave them a call, got full asking price less than 27 days. So call the local agents who guarantee to sell your homes. Call Chad and Sandy today at 414-6200 or chadandsandy.com.
I'm Tom Champion with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. The Gators have the 4th most difficult football schedule in the SEC this season, according to the Sporting News. They'll play 4 top 25 teams. SEC Media Days are about a month away. And keep up with World Cup scores and updates all tournament on 1010XL. It's 75 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Welcome back to the lead here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. We are moments away from the USA wrapping up a 2-0 victory over Australia. 6 minutes of injury time, but Ryan, we had to add a little injury time when the referee got hurt.
That referee should be fired immediately. I mean, you're supposed to add injury time for a player injury, not a referee injury. And then they come out, and it looks like they give him a gummy. Hopefully it's a good kind of gummy to get him through the match.
Yeah, what was that? It was like a baby bottle.
Like a electrolyte, probably.
What are we doing? There it is. We're here at Mr. Chubbys in Ponte Vedra. It has been an outstanding contest. The USA with a 2-0 win over Australia. The United States advances to the knockout round. And as JJ LaSelva told us earlier in the show, wins a second game in group play for the first time ever in their history. So Ryan, obviously, this has the potential to become a gigantic story now. They don't play again until Thursday, but obviously they're going to play again beyond that. We know they're in the knockout round. They're probably going to win the group. We'll see what happens with Turkey and Paraguay later tonight. You've been covering sports for a long time. Do you get the gut feeling that this is now going to be something that, even if you're not a particularly big soccer fan, you can't help but get wrapped up in over the next week and beyond?
I agree with that for a couple of reasons. One, it is a tournament being held on home turf. It's at Perfect Times TV, and let's face it, the floor is clear. There's nothing else going on after the U.S. Open. You got other stuff. I'm not going to count some sports that are going on right now, but the stage is theirs. And you go back to 2002. That was U.S. making the final eight, the quarterfinals. That tournament was in South Korea. They were playing in the middle of the night.
Right.
And they lost to Germany 1-0 after beating Mexico, Portugal. And that was the era of McBride, Dempsey, Donovan, Mathis. Now you get these names that become more familiar, and people like to rally around their country. And you saw it with hockey during the gold medal, but this is different. Hockey, that was almost had a mercenary feel. That was a very quick tournament. Now you have the build-up to the next match. You know they're going to be playing possibly over the 4th of July weekend. And so I think the television ratings are going to be huge.
It seemed like they did what you hoped they would do at halftime. The U.S. seemed like they did. They had a couple good chances to start the second half. Then they sort of settled in. Australia had a good look here and there, but it never really felt like the U.S. got into any real danger here.
Yeah, I mean, a couple oohs and ahs. I thought they would try and press a little bit more, but they made the decision, it looked like pretty early on, that they're just going to lay back and play that way, and it worked. But Australia probably just didn't have the kind of skill that was required to come back like that. And so, I'll take it for somebody else to say, because they probably had a better view, but in terms of close calls. But I mean, to get through your first two matches with a 6-1,
that's incredible.
Goals against, that's unheard of for the United States. And you can't, I mean, the history of this tournament is the home team getting hot. France won it in 98. England's the last time they won it was 66. So, they'll obviously have a lot of Big Mo on their side.
And I think they proved a lot by showing they can win a game 2-0 over at least a sound opponent, not having their best player in Christian Pulisic, who they sat out and now really enjoy the benefits of that. He gets another basically week of rest, and they won't even really need to play him against Turkey. I wouldn't think.
I think tonight will be the key one. What did JJ? It's like 11 o'clock match.
Yeah.
If Paraguay can beat Turkey, that clinches the group. Then you tell Pulisic, you're not playing the next one, so that changes the rehab a little bit with that calf, because as we know, those don't go away fast, but they can come back fast. They can get worse fast. So I think they'd be rooting for Paraguay tonight.
Yeah, and I think again there was a lot of pressure on them. You're playing in Seattle. How were they going to react to a week's worth of praise from the dominating performance against Paraguay? And you had to be impressed with how they handled it. I mean, they did not seem like a team that was content. They certainly seemed like they played with great intensity, and they didn't let the pressure get to them.
Yeah, and playing a 12 noon match in Seattle, I think that helps. You'd have to sit around all day. They're going to be staying on the West Coast now for their I guess final round of 32 game. But yeah, it's you have to be excited, have to be encouraged.
Yeah, I think absolutely, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. I think you're going to see a real. I think you felt it a little bit after the first game, but now the casual sports fan wakes up when they hear things like, this is historic. They've never done this before. They've already clinched, that they're advancing. So I would anticipate, certainly over this weekend and into leading up to Thursday, I mean, I think it's going to be hard to turn without seeing a story about this U.S. team and the progress that they've made.
I mean, the next match they play on the 25th, which is Thursday, it's a 10 p.m. Eastern kickoff. So the TV number may be a little skewed that way, especially if there's not a lot to play for. But then you get into the next week, and I think you're going to get into 35, 40 million range because it's a curiosity.
Yeah.
And, the ratings now count bars and restaurants and stuff. So Fox has to be very happy with what's going on.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's been so much fun watching the game here at Mr. Chubbys in Ponte Vedra. We certainly have enjoyed it. Appreciate Michelob Ultra having us out too at this wonderful location. Again, buckets for just $14.50. So come on and enjoy it, and now enjoy a victory party, because it certainly doesn't look like there's going to be any slowing down here at Mr. Chubbys as we get into the late afternoon and evening. It's been a lot of fun. Again, the U.S. has beaten Australia, and they've done it in impressive fashion. When we come back, let's get it to the Jaguars. Let's get it to the Gators. Mark Long of the Associated Press will join us. You're listening to The Lead on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
This is The Lead from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This World Cup soccer update is laced up by Valvoline Instant Oil Changes and Houston's Meats.
Westwood One Sports presents this World Soccer Update. I'm Phil Constantino. At the World Cup nearing its conclusion in Seattle, in stoppage time, the USA 2, Australia 0. The goals all in the first half. Cameron Burgess, an own goal by Australia in the 11th minute, and Alex Freeman, a header on a rebound for the U.S. in the 43rd minute. So it's 2-0 USA, goalie Matt Freese, 2 saves in the game. If this result holds, the U.S. will clinch its spot in the knockout round. With a win, it will be 6 points for the U.S. and atop Group D. Coming up the rest of the day, Scotland versus Morocco, 6 p.m. Eastern in Group C. Brazil versus Haiti, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, also in Group C. Scotland currently leads that group with 3 points. And in Group D, Turkey versus Paraguay at 11 Eastern. Phil Constantino, Westwood One Sports.
Hi,
Hi, how can I help?
Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager.
I see.
Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often. At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs.
Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning?
Yes, we have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement.
And your fees?
We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
I feel better already.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves a risk of loss.
Truck buyers, listen up. Right now at Nimnick Chevrolet, you can get 0% financing for 60 months on a new Chevrolet Silverado. Look, guys like trucks. I love a truck. I've got a truck from Nimnick and been driving it for the longest time. Well, think about this. 0% for 5 years at Nimnick Chevrolet. Rates haven't been this low in years. Nimnick Chevrolet also has the largest selection of Silverado trucks in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. So don't wait. Head there today. And here's what else you get at Nimnick. People that treat you right. Not just while you're buying the truck, but even after the fact. I've been buying my cars and trucks at Nimnick forever, since 1982. So I promise you, I trust them. Well, you can trust them too. Visit NimnickChevy.com to start shopping today. The largest inventory, better prices, the best interest and rate, and you know what? People that treat you absolutely right. Go get a Chevy Silverado from the best place to get it, at Nimnick. Who treats you fantastic in town? That's easy. Nobody but Nimnick.
Jack C. Wilson Roofing Company is hiring for an estimator. Are you a motivated, customer-focused professional who enjoys working with people and doing things the right way? We want to hear from you. Send your resume to JCW Roof at jcwroof.com or call 904-396-1546. Family owned and operated since 1946. Jack C. Wilson Roofing Company, the first name in Jacksonville roofing.
Former Gator Patrick Young pours out orange and blue passion with Hacker on the Gator Bites podcast.
Patrick Young, come to life.
Tipped off by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Fridays on the video and social channels of 1010XL.
Spring means wings. That's right. The Spring Wing Fest is happening right now at Bono's Barbecue. Frangie here. Bono's wings are the best around, and now they've got 2 new flavors, garlic, parm, and lemon pepper. Head to Bono's today and get 6 wings and a side for $10.99 or a 10-wing basket for just $15.99. But hurry, the deal ends June 30th. To find the Bono's near you, head to bonosbarbq.com. That's bonosbarbq.com. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
This is David Lane. You've probably heard me talk about Southeast Orthopedic Specialists by now. Gotta tell you, they're not dragging me in here to do this. I volunteer to share my good experiences. Whatever your level of discomfort is, let Southeast Orthopedic take a look. You'll be glad you did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS.
This is David Lane, and I seriously recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
And that concludes the Joe C. Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clear water irrigation
and drainage too.
You know interest rates are high all over the country, except for right here at Beards Diamonds. Beards is rolling back interest rates all the way to 0. That's right. Get 0.0% financing right now through June 30th for 5 whole years. So you can splurge on that $10,000 engagement ring and pay just $167 a month with nothing down. Pick any item. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest charges. Who else does this? Beards Diamonds is making everything more affordable. Earrings, pendants, bands, bracelets, colored gemstone jewelry, designer fashion jewelry. Now through June 30th, get the best value price Beards is famous for and enjoy 5 years of interest-free free financing. That $3,000 pair of earrings she's been dreaming about is just $50 a month with zero down. All natural and lab-grown diamonds included. Don't miss this extraordinary smart buying opportunity. Beard's Diamonds, Jacksonville's premier jeweler. Not corporate owned like everyone else, but locally owned for over 4 decades. At the St. John's Town Center. On approved credit, see store for details.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
He covers the Jags. He covers the Gators. It's 4th and Long with Mark Long of the Associated Press. Now on The Lead on 1010XL.
All right, welcome back to The Lead. We are excited to bring in our good buddy Mark Long of the Associated Press. Mark covers the Jags. He covers the Gators. But, Mark, we're going to start off with, do you have soccer fever with the U.S. beating the Aussies?
Oh, I got half of my face is blue. The other half is red. Yeah, I am all in, man.
Good.
All in right now. I mean, first time since 1930 that the U.S. has won consecutive World Cup games. What are we doing? This is unbelievable and iconic moment in football for the United States. And I heard you guys talking. Yes, this will be. There'll be a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon now. And here's the thing: if they win this group, they get to stay out west. So then all of a sudden they're going to have games. Another game in the Bay Area, another game in Seattle, maybe a game in LA. So that's what this means for them, is being able to stay out west as opposed to having to travel. So winning the group, if they can do that tonight or certainly on Thursday.
Yeah, Mark, you've covered the Jags for obviously 2 decades now. What's the vibe that you get from the team? The offseason's over. We'll now have about a month break before they report for training camp. But where do you assess where this organization is going into this season?
Yeah, I think we've talked about this, and I'll stand by it. The biggest storyline coming out of mandatory OTAs, minicamp, whatever, voluntary OTAs, mandatory minicamp. The biggest story is Brian Thomas Jr. All of a sudden, the guy just looks the part. He looks like the guy we saw 2 years ago, the guy who flashed last year. And to me, it's everything. You still want to see him do it with the pads on. You still want to see him do it getting hit over the middle. You want to see him get hit over the middle, hold onto a ball, maybe show some of those things. But to me, he is the story coming out and going into camp. And then everything else is, I don't know that we answered a lot of questions about, the third pass rusher, Trayvon Walker's health. I know Liam Cohen challenged him, and he answered the bell. But, until the pads go on, what can we see from this running game? What can we see from this O-line? What are we going to see from the middle? Are we going to get more push from the middle of the D-line? Those things. What's going to happen at linebacker? What's the secondary going to look at? All of that stuff, I think, will be answered in camp. But to me, the number one, at least, bright spot coming out of the offseason and going into what really matters is Brian Thomas Jr.
Mark, thanks for extending your streak of calling in on time. That's always. Well, we laugh at that. You kind of answered it here. If you're Liam Cohen going into late July, what scares you about this team?
Your running back situation. Yep. I think you got to be at least concerned about it a little bit. Chris Rodriguez doesn't touch the field, right, or in his first workout, breaks the foot. And even though you think you'll have him back early in camp or for the start of camp, you still got to be worried about that because he's not a guy who's had a ton of touches with the Commanders. even though he knows the offense. And then you got behind him, you just got a bunch of unknowns. I think, Tootin and Allen, they did play last year, but they're still unknowns. Amir Abdullah, 12 years in the league. Jamari Taylor, rookie. What do you have? DJ Dallas, 7 years, but not a lot of production. What do you got? And it's such an important group because everything you've said is, hey, we've got to be better running the football. We've got to be better between the tackles. We've got to be addition by subtraction by losing a player like ETN, albeit most people believe he's a really good player. I think if you talk to people inside the building, they would say, he was a home run threat, yes. He did a lot of good things, yes. He could catch the football, yes. Had a little knack for the end zone at times, yes. But he missed a lot. He missed a lot of holes. Didn't really do them it wasn't really helpful necessarily. And when they didn't, he wasn't making up for whatever offensive line problems they had, injury problems they had, all that lack of physicality up front at times. He didn't make up for it. So he added to it by missing holes, missing, spots here and there, running the wrong, all those things. So I think there's some belief that they're going to be addition by subtraction in that room, but you don't know it. You haven't seen it. And again, that's the level of physicality that they hope to have. We won't know until camp starts. And you're still going to have, what is Rodriguez going to be? What's going to be the situation at left tackle? What's going to happen at right guard? What's going to happen at center? There's still a lot of unknowns about that running game moving forward.
Whatever a coach or an executive says of the running game, well, it's an 11-man job. That means the running back's not doing his job.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, and I think it's probably, we overlooked it last year because they didn't really talk about it. And I get it. You can't really dump on your running back, your number one guy, ETN. But we saw early in the year, they had started to move to Tootin, for Shield Tootin. They started moving to Tootin early before he got hurt, before he fumbled a couple times. And it was like, whoa, what's this? This is going to be running back by committee. And it really was their plan. Then Tootin got hurt. Tootin fumbled a couple times, and all of a sudden, ETN was the bell cow for that position group. But it wasn't by design. That's not what they wanted to do. They really do want a little bit of this running back by committee, roll with the hot hand. Don't let somebody, get tired in the fourth quarter. So all of that, just remains to be seen in terms of how that plays out.
What kind of season do you think Trevor Lawrence has?
I think he's going to be fantastic. I don't know if he's going to take some huge step from last year, but I would expect him to take a little bit of a step. I think year two in an offense, Liam Cohen is the real deal. I think we all know that. We all believe that. And, if a full year now with Jacoby Myers, I think they've definitely upgraded the tight end group. Maybe not so much. We're not going to see it right out of the gate with Nate Forfeiture, but certainly we all think Koziel is going to be a absolute threat. He's another one coming out of, short season, which is, shorts and T-shirts, which is what they practice in a lot of times here. He looks like he's kind of the best pick, right? Looks like the guy who's going to step in and be a contributor right away. So yeah, but I think Trevor, year two with Liam, year two in the offense, a full year with Jacoby Myers, a few more weapons. We all think that Travis Hunter will do some things on offense. All of that, you put that together. If they can run the ball a little bit better, I think Trevor, the sky's the limit, but I don't think he's going to make this huge jump. But I think he'll make a modest jump, play better, and probably I think he'll have better numbers than last year. But it might not look, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to be, he's not going to jump and be Tom Brady. But I do think he can take a little bit of a stride forward in year two.
Hey, Mark, let's switch to the Gators for a minute. They picked up another commitment today, 4-star. what is the confidence internally with Summerall and Caldwell that they'll be able to retain a large majority of these commitments and get them to sign in December?
Yeah, I think probably winning would help. That would secure it. I think that's all. The only thing that could go wrong here is losing. Like they could be if they were a debacle on the field, then all of a sudden people who are have really strong commitment to John Summerall, Dave Caldwell might question that, maybe get lured in a different direction. But what I heard this week is it is unbelievably positive in the building. They're all rowing in the same direction. Everybody's letting everybody else kind of do their thing, staying out of the way. It's just not what is the norm. And you look at what the Billy Napier era, ERROR, and I think the biggest problem with the Billy Napier era was Billy wanted his hand in everything, had to have his hand in everything. And that gums up the work and it slows down the process. And I think these guys right now have very delineated roles, very detailed roles and what they've got to do. And John Summerall staying out of the way and going, hey, you guys are doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. And he's staying in his lane, which is, getting these guys ready for football. Yes, he's recruiting, but he is not the only one recruiting, and he's certainly not in charge. And Dave Caldwell's been a godsend in terms of taking a lot of things off John Summerall's plate. And the fact that those teams are getting along swimmingly and allowing each other to kind of do their thing, stay in their lane, it doesn't happen in the NFL, Ryan. Hey, we've all done this long enough to know. Guys start pointing fingers. Usually they wait till it starts going poorly to do that, but it happens oftentimes long before it starts going poorly. But that is not the case in Gainesville right now.
Obviously, we haven't talked to you since the swamp renovation project was announced, $1.45 billion. What were your thoughts on it? Will this be seamless, or will there be speed bumps along the way to this?
No, there's nothing going to be seamless about a 3-year build that's, going to certainly change the swamp, not in 2026, but in 2027, 2028, 2029. We're going to see there will be reduced capacity. There will be construction all around. There will be growing pains for fans, for players, for everyone. I mean, Limeran, which is the old north-south road, is going to be shut down. There won't be parking, in that O-Dome parking lot across the street. All that's going to get moved and reconfigured and whatnot. So this will be a painful process. Similar to the Jags, but except they don't have to do the year away. And that was a consideration. They talked about it. They thought about it. But Scott Strickland had heard from enough businesses that, hey, listen, if you take those 6 or 7 weekends off my revenue, I'm going to go under. That's what we live for. Small businesses in Gainesville, they live for those 6 or 7 weekends. It's where they do a ton of their business. So they just couldn't justify doing it that way and hurting the local businesses. So they decided to stretch it out and really focus on kind of like the Jags in terms of phases here and there, shutting down parts of the stadium here and there, and stretch this thing out and make it a 3. And you have the opportunity to do that in Florida when you have pretty good weather for, 320 days out of the year. You've got workable weather. You can get a lot done in Florida that you maybe couldn't get done up north, something like that.
What are Nolan and Harper getting you for Father's Day?
Golf shoes, I believe. I think that's the rumor. But going back to the swamp, a crazy number, $1.45 billion.
Don't get overly sentimental, Mark. I mean, we've only got so much time here. We can't listen to you bawl about your kids and the Father's Day gift.
What Mark doesn't want to say is, my kids love me. Clearly, they don't.
They do. They do love me. No, they love me to death.
We know. We're just joking.
Yeah, the swamp, it is a ton of $1.45 billion. It's going to be the biggest undertaking in the history of college sports.
Yes.
Let's
That's
not,
why I want. Will this
gloss over
actually
that.
get done? I mean, I know it, when I say will it be seamless, I know there's going to be pains for fans and stuff as they renovate it. But do you actually think in 2030 that this project gets completed?
Yes.
Okay.
Why wouldn't it get completed?
Because they can't even pick a president.
I had somebody told me the president's a rubber stamp. I had somebody told me, don't be surprised if the state of Florida steps in and helps with some of the costs.
Oh,
and I was like, well, that would be,
Come on,
that would be
Ron. How about
unprecedented.
that?
It would be
Here we go.
unprecedented, and it would really open a tunnel or open the floodgates for everybody else with their handouts. Well, wait. Well, what about USF, UCF, FSU? Well, what about us? What about us? Well, I don't know. It is the flagship university of the state of Florida, and it is the bell cow, the moneymaker, and don't be surprised to see some help along the way. That's all. That's what I've been told.
All right, very good.
Happy Father's
Day.
Day.
Happy Father's Day, Mark.
Thank you to you two, both of you, because Ryan, you might. You don't know.
You never know.
You never know.
A lot of ways to go that way.
Yes. Yeah, Mark
See ya.
enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Look forward to talking with you next Friday.
Hey, later.
All right, fantastic stuff from Mark Long when we come back on the lead.
They're getting me shoes.
Yeah,
Get back to the swamp.
Exactly, that was hilarious. We'll get it back to U.S. soccer as we are basking in the 2-0 win over Australia as the U.S. takes a big step forward towards winning the group and have already advanced to the knockout stage. So fantastic stuff. You are listening to The Lead on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Lead from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This U.S. Open update on 1010XL is brought to you by TopDressing.com and LiveForeverGolf.com.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 126th U.S. Open Championship, sponsored by Century, business insurance that specializes in you. Wyndham Clark has executed his game plan after 2 days at Shinnecock. He is 7 under and leads by 4.
Yesterday, I really drove it great, and then I was just really conservative into the greens. These greens are obviously the challenge of this golf course. And then today, I kind of did the same thing. Wasn't as sharp, but the consistency of hitting it to kind of conservative targets really paid off.
Only 3 bogeys in the first 2 rounds for Clark. Meanwhile, Rory McIlroy back-to-back bogeys at 10 and 11. He is now 1 under and 6 back. Scotty Scheffler 1 over. He started on the more difficult back 9. He's 1 under today. Scheffler does get to play the more generous front 9 last. Projected cut is +4 right now. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
At Century, understanding starts with taking a seat, talking face-to-face, getting to know your business firsthand, diving into details, seeing risk from every angle, becoming experts in your business, and crafting coverage that really makes a difference. So, save us a seat. We've got work to do. Property and casualty coverages are underwritten by a member of the Century Insurance Group, Stevens Point, Wisconsin. For a complete listing of companies, visit Century.com. Policies, coverages, benefits, and discounts are not available in all states. See policy for complete coverage details.
From backyard barbecues to homegrown herbs, the best parts of summer start at Lowe's. Right now, get 3 Ferry-Morse 1.3-quart vegetables and herbs for just $12. Plus, get 4 bags of Miracle-Gro 0.75 cubic foot garden soil for only $10. Whether you're planting something new or giving your garden a refresh, now's the time to make the most of your outdoor space. Save more on what you need this summer at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 6/24 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for big number one Duval Ford. If you run a fleet in Jacksonville, you know time off the road costs money. That's why Duval Ford's fleet mobile service is a game changer. Duval Ford comes to you, job sites, depots, wherever your trucks are. You don't have to lose hours driving to a shop or waiting in line. From basic maintenance to light repairs, Duval Ford technicians keep your fleet moving. It's fast, convenient, and built for commercial uptime. Big number one Duval Ford mobile service. Wherever you need them, they'll come to you.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. With so many messages, we know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. We'll help you find doctors to get you better, and we'll work hard to maximize any recovery. Visit our website and look at our reviews to see how we've helped people just like you make this important decision. Harrell & Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $5,000 per ounce, and silver is over $100 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold and silver for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web. Precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to i9sports.com with summer and fall registration open right now, including girls volleyball at UNF and Bishop Snyder this summer, plus plenty of other sports on the First Coast. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
Hey, gang, Prosser here. Nothing like a good promise kept, and that's what you get from the Promise Keepers, Chad and Sandy at Chad and Sandy Realty. Your home sold guaranteed, or they'll buy it. Chad and Sandy have the largest pool of buyers in the area. Their home selling program is designed to maximize your sales, and the proof is there. Need max price? Chad and Sandy's science-based system is a proven, repeatable system guaranteed to sell, or they wouldn't offer you this promise. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they'll buy it. No required repairs. Pick your move date. You are good to go. Robert at Cordova Palms in St. Augustine said, I needed to downsize, but my home had already been listed with another agent for 136 days and failed to sell. I heard Chad and Sandy on the radio, decided to give them a try, made all the difference, bought me a full price offer just 18 days. They can for you too. Go to chadandsandy.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Well, the golden moment was very easy today. It was celebrating with the fans here at Mr. Chubbys in Ponte Vedra, watching the U.S. take down Australia 2-0. So much fun being here. We certainly appreciate it. Appreciate our friends at Michelob Ultra making it happen for us here. And it's been an incredible afternoon. JJ, you're back. Your instant reaction is out, so fans can certainly go check that out. But give us a sense. It went kind of how you told us it would go yesterday.
Yeah, if you want to see like my full 30 minutes or whatever it is, go to our YouTube, and we just did it live. But yeah, I thought it would be similar to this, like a hard-fought 1-0, 2-0 victory. I knew Australia was going to come. I thought Australia would come to play a little more football than they did, but they came to foul the crap out of us, and that's exactly what they did to make it uncomfortable. And in hindsight, I'm really glad Pulisic did not play in this game because, man, they would have been really after him. But, yeah, we survived in the second half and did what we needed to do on defense. There was a couple moments when it was like heart in mouth. Will they score here? But Australia didn't take advantage, and we live to fight another day. Listen, you don't apologize for any victory at the World Cup, no matter how pedestrian we looked at times today. Absolutely massive. It's historic to win 2 group stage games. And now we watch Paraguay tonight and hope they can get a result that gets us as the group champions, and we can sit our starters next game. So go Paraguay.
What does the next level look like for Team USA?
The next level would be we got to get our defense taken care of. And it'll be really interesting to see, like, how we tactically go at a team that's like a Belgium or somebody like that, maybe in the knockout rounds. Will we still be able to play this high pressing style of offense, the counterattacks? We might have to turn into a counterattack team, I should say, when we play some of these bigger nations. But right now, our style of plays should work against Turkey if we have to next game.
The other thing that I think comes out of today is now we've talked all week about the wave of momentum coming out of that tremendous first performance. But now, JJ, with them doing something, when you start doing historic things, I think that's when you get the casual sports fan completely bought in. So what kind of excitement do you think builds now over the next 5 days until they face Turkey on Thursday?
Yeah, I saw it today at 10:10. Like, I was in the back watching on the big screen, and right as the game's about to start, there's like 6 people that come back there, and everyone was excited, and I'm sort of having to explain some of the rules to people, which I love. Like, I love the casuals who seemingly don't care about the game at all, but it's because it's Team USA. They've heard about how good we're playing, and they want to be involved, and I just love that. So, yeah, you're going to get I'll give you a perfect example. Last week during the Paraguay game, my father, who never watches soccer, texted me and goes, "How many minutes is a game?" And I'm just like, that is the perfect encapsulation of like getting the casuals involved. So yeah, I think the next week you're going to hear a lot, especially depending on what happens tonight. Like, if we already win the group, it's going to be sort of a not very exciting game. We'll probably play our backups and stuff like that. But if we need a result against Turkey, I fully expect like the ratings to be huge for that game.
Now, if we need, and your insight has been incredible on this. One final thing, and then we'll get to break. But do we know yet when the first knockout game might be?
No, it depends on if we win the group.
Okay.
But I believe it is in San Francisco if we win the group. And that would be like against the third place team. So it would be really hard to be able to try to figure out now who it would be. But yeah, we would play in San Francisco.
They'll play Thursday and then maybe play the following Tuesday, Wednesday?
I believe so. I don't think it'll be a full week. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when, but I know it'll be in San Francisco.
Well, we know it won't be Italy because they're not in the tournament.
How dare you?
Right. Yeah,
well, hell, Ireland's not in it either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as it stands right now, we would play Bosnia in San Francisco, and that is in 12 days' time, July the 1st.
July the 1st. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Great stuff. All right, JJ, we certainly appreciate it. Wonderful breakdown. Again, check out JJ's instant reaction on the 1010XL social channels. He does a fantastic job. When we come back on the lead, we'll hand it off to Hacker. He'll tell us what's coming up on Hacker After Dark, and we'll give you a couple final U.S. Open thoughts as we wrap it up here at Mr. Chubbys in Ponte Vedra. You're listening to The Lead on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You're listening to The Lead from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
This is Brent Musburger's VSIN Action Update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The NASCAR Cup Series will be racing the Anduril 250 in San Diego through the Naval Base Coronado, a temporary street circuit that runs 3.4 miles in length and has 16 corners. They will run 75 laps. It's in conjunction with the U.S. Navy's 250th anniversary. Shane Van Gisbergen, who won 5 road course events last season, is the betting favorite at minus 165. Connor Zilich is at plus 800. Tyler Reddick with 5 victories on the season. He's plus 850. Ty Gibbs plus 1,400, Michael McDowell plus 2,000, and William Byron plus 2,500.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, KeysOfProgress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1010 XL.
Here's a good rule of thumb. If the service company starts explaining financing before they explain what's actually wrong, run. At Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, we believe solutions come before sales. When we arrive at your home, our job is simple. Find the problem, explain the problem, fix the problem. Charge a fair price. No turning a simple repair into a major sales presentation. When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Looking for ways to save on your JEA bill? We're on it. When it comes to your utilities, the less you use, the more you can save. That's why JEA offers ways to help you manage your usage and avoid higher than expected bills. Use our online tools to monitor your usage throughout the month. Schedule a free irrigation or energy efficiency assessment and get personalized tips to save. And with JEA rebates, you can save when upgrading to more efficient equipment. Find more ways to save at JEA.com.
Hey, it's Carline here for Atlantic Infinity. I love my QX60, but the big news is the beautiful 2027 QX65s are now in, and you got to go check them out. Also, every new Infinity comes with the Atlantic Infinity Promise. That's over $7,000 in added value. That's one of many reasons why I bought mine there. It's just a great experience. The service department is incredible, fantastic facility. Do what I did. Make your next ride an Infinity from Atlantic Infinity. Visit AtlanticInfinity.com or visit the showroom near Atlantic in St. John's Bluff.
Budweiser reminds us to drink wiser, like hydrating between beers. It keeps the fun going longer, and it's a commitment to responsibility. Remember, good times are ahead, so no need to overdo it. Know when to say when, and always designate a driver.
Jack C. Wilson Roofing Company is hiring for an estimator. Are you a motivated, customer-focused professional who enjoys working with people and doing things the right way? We want to hear from you. Send your resume to JCW Roof at jcwroof.com or call 904-396-1546. Family owned and operated since 1946. Jack C. Wilson Roofing Company, the first name in Jacksonville roofing.
Summer's here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your backyard with Superior Fence and Rail. Get the fence you've been wanting with 12 months financing and no interest, so you can enjoy more privacy, more security, and more curb appeal without the upfront stress. Make your outdoor space ready for summer. You must have credit approval from our third-party financial institution. Call today or visit SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Mike Dempsey here. DraftKings Sports is live in all 50 states. Yes, that means you, Florida. The whole world is watching one tournament right now. Group stage chaos, knockout drama, stoppage time heartbreak. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in Florida. So whether you're catching the early kickoff before work or the late match at the bar, you're in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app. Right here in Florida, the world's biggest stage is in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers, sign up with code 1010XL, spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards. That's code 1010XL. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends June 28th. Terms DKNG.co/predictions promo.
For the greenest, luscious lawn on the block, choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hacker, you were very confident in the U.S. going into the game. Did they deliver the result that you were expecting?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I was very happy. I didn't realize they were going to score again in the first 12 minutes of the game. I don't know how many times we can bank on the United States doing that, but whenever you have two games and you're up 1-0 before you blink in both contests, that's a great way to start. And, boy, what a scene in Seattle as the people did not want to leave the stadium. They're showing the outside of the stadium now. It has turned into quite the party and what is turning into an absolutely unbelievable World Cup here in North America.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. What's coming up tonight on Hacker After Dark?
Well, as you can imagine, we're going to talk a lot about the United States win over Australia. I know JJ LaSelva was with you guys. He's going to join us at 7 o'clock to give his thoughts. Also, a little Jaguar talk with the coach, Mark Duffner, previewing the NBA summer as well. So a lot to do, but a lot of United States soccer talk as the U.S. for the first time ever in the World Cup has already qualified for the knockout stage with still a game to go in group play.
Fantastic. Hacker, thank you so much. We'll be listening.
Thanks, fellas.
All right. What's coming up on Jacksonville.com?
Oh, that's right. I got to think of something there.
Yeah. You're still the columnist of the Florida Times Union, right?
That's right. Tomorrow. It feels like I filed that 12 hours ago, which is probably true. I talked to Ross Matisek, the long snapper. He signed his contract. He just got off the golf course the other day, and Jake's connected with him for a couple minutes, talked about that. Got a JU basketball note in there, too, about the 3 returning players. And looking ahead to next week, maybe Eric Armstead. I got one of those in the can.
All right, fantastic. Great stuff. We hope you have enjoyed it. We've had a great time here at Mr. Chubbys in Ponte Vedra. Appreciate them having us out.
Happy Father's Day.
Hey, thank you. Yes, happy Father's Day to you. All the dads out there, have a wonderful day. Enjoy the U.S. Open. Enjoy the U.S. soccer. It's been a lot of fun. That's going to do it for us. Hacker After Dark up next on 1010XL 92.5.